Oh, hello. This is Creating Cards with Sherry. I'm Sherry, and this is my Simple Sunday video. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are going to make a really easy Christmas card. I call it the Easy Peasy Christmas Wish. And I know not all of you are in the Christmas mood yet. A lot of you are thinking about Halloween versus Christmas. However, in my house, October is the month that I sit down and watch football and make all my Christmas cards. And I usually make about 35 Christmas cards a year. So I'm in that Christmas thinking mode. And I wanted to be able to share a bunch of Christmas things with you now, partially because of our mini catalog and what you'll find in there, but also to give you ideas of what you can do when you start thinking about your Christmas cards. All right, today we are using our stylish shapes dies. Ugh, that's a tongue twister today. And I use the 4th circle, which is a 2-inch circle. So that's what I used for today. The stamps we're using are Stars at Night. And we're going to use a Versamark watermark stamp pad that will allow us to do some embossing again today. And we're going to use Shaded Spruce ink pad. Along with those, we're going to use the Real Red um, blending pens and the Shaded Spruce blending pens. This one I'm using the light shade, and this one I'm using the dark shade. We also will be using our golden vanilla ribbon, our 3/8 satin edge ribbon. I cut this at 8 inches. You may want to cut it a little longer, and I'll explain all of that when we get to that part of making the card. And then we are using these embellishments called the adhesive backed glitter sequins. And I think we're going to be using my Stampin' Seal and then our embossing tools. All right. So I think that's everything that I need to tell you about. So let's get going. You're going to need a 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of paper for your base. This I am using cherry cobbler, and I always fold them on both sides and burnish on both sides just because it gives a better crease and keeps the card flat. All right. The inside of our card is going to be your basic white at 5.25 by 4. And I am using the 2 leaf stamps. And with my Shaded Spruce, I'm going to just put a corner stamp together. So I laid both of my leaves up like that. And I'm just going to put it right there in the corner. And then this is where my blending pens come in. I'm going to be using the red to dot the little cherries. And I'm using this lighter Shaded Spruce to color in the leaves. It doesn't take long to do this because it's a very small and narrow stamp set. So it goes fairly quickly. You do have to be careful. If you don't have a steady hand, you might have to get some help to color those in, or if you want, you could use colored pencils as well. That would make it look really nice too. Almost done here. I'm barely touching the paper. I don't want to press on it because then I know the ink's going to go all over the place. So keep that in mind when you're coloring them. All right. Then with the Stampin' Seal, we're going to put the inside of our card in right away. Well, looks like I ran out of seal. All right, I didn't realize I was that low. Hang on a second. I'm going to go get some more. Sorry about this little delay. There we go. And then we're just going to put that in there. There, now we're all set to go again. All right. Okay, and then we're going to put this on the inside of our card. Then on the outside, I'm going to start. Well, I should tell you this. You'll want some DSP paper, about 5 1/4 by 4, and then you're going to cut the 2-inch circle right in there, in the corner. All right, and I'll show you what we're going to be doing with that in a little bit. What you want to do with your embossing tools, there's a little, that looks like a pillow, a little pillow, and I think they call it Embossing Buddy. And you just want to rub that on in the corner where that circle is going to be, because that gets rid of any electricity or dust and will allow your embossing powder to be used as it should. Now, I also need, let's see if I got one here. Yep. You're going to need a pencil, because what you're going to do is you're going to line this up on your paper, and you're just going to make a nice circle with your pencil. This will help you line up the stamp where you need to put it. All right. You can't really see it when you put the thing on, but I think you can see it on the camera. All right, then I'm going to use my Versamark ink. And I'm going to take my Merry Christmas stamp, and I'm going to ink this. Now it's going to be clear. Because this is a dark color, you should be able to see it show up there. See that? All right. It gives a wet residue so that you can use your embossing powder, and I'll show you how you do that. This is our white embossing powder, and I'm just gonna, whoop, that came out kind of fast, but that's all right. You just cover it up like that, and you'll notice it's kind of separated, I think is the word. The powder is kind of separated. What you want to do is you want to take your heat tool. When it gets hot, you have to wait a few minutes to get it heated up, and then you're going to watch and see what happens with that powder. Right. And what this does is it melts the powder on there, and it will become one running line. And it'll put all that powder together. You see it forming? It's really kind of cool how it works. And you don't want to emboss too long, because you can burn it as well. But you want to make sure that you get that straight line. Let me see. I have another one that I did. As well, and it came out a little clearer, so I'm going to show you this. But that's how it should look once you get it done. All right. Now we're going to take our DSP paper, and we're going to add some Stamp and Seal to it. And I'm going to take, if I can find it, there it is, my 8-inch ribbon, which is the Golden Vanilla 3/8 satin edged ribbon. And what I want to do is I want to line it up right in here. And you can do it off to the side if you want. I'm going to try and do this off to the side. The other one I did straight across. And then putting it on the back first will allow it to stay in place. And you'll want to get it so that you will be able to get it evenly across there so that you will be able to tie with it. So you have to be careful how you put it together. And then you want to line your circle up with that pencil circle, and that should get your paper on evenly as well. Then you're just going to tie your ribbon, and that's all you're going to do. You're not going to make a bow. You're just going to actually tie it. Now, if you want more room to work with your ribbon, then you will want to make your ribbon 9 to 10 inches long. I did 8 inches thinking it would be long enough. So there's a part of me that kind of wishes I would have made it a little longer, but that worked out okay. And then you can just, my fingers are sticking with stuff. Then you can just trim off your edges. And then we're going to add our embellishment, our adhesive backed sequins. And you'll want to take your pick tool to do that, but mine is on the other side of the room, so I'm going to do this with my fingers. It's much easier with your take your pick tool, though. And I'm just going to put one of those adhesive backs right there. And there you have an easy peasy Christmas wish. All right. So I hope you've enjoyed today's card. If you want to purchase anything, you can go to my shop at creatingcardswithsherry.stampinup.net. Be sure to use the host code ZF9BGGPN. You can go to my blog, creatingcardswithsherry.blogspot.com, to get all of the measurements for these cards and the products that you will need. All right. If you have any particular questions or anything, just comment below and I will get back to you. Thank you so much for joining me today. You have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday for my Tickle Tuesday video. Happy stamping!